Hello, how's it going, guys? It's your boy Bread. Today's gonna be a little bit different video. Again, sorry about the long waits in between videos. But we're gonna start uploading some more. I was in the process of moving from Florida to New York, so now that we're here, we're gonna be able to actually give you some good content. Don't think we forgot about you guys. But I'm just making this video today. I'm gonna go over my build. Um, Sock is not here with me right now, but if you guys want to see him, do his little build guide, we'll get that uploaded for you. But in the meantime, right now I'm using Necromancer. Um, got an interesting build here today, right? So I know everyone's like, fucking, let's do Bone Spear, and yes, Bone Spear is great for your burst damage. Um, but this build is a little bit different. This build we're using Shadow. Um, I've kind of built this myself. I've looked up a few videos or whatnot, but nothing really sat with me. I've kind of wanted to have fun of the game. I'm in the late game now. I know I'm only level like basically 75, but with this build, like the survivability is just really up there, and you're able to like just tank a lot of shit. And towards the end of the video, I'll do a little gameplay and like a little guide how to play this. But super simple and super fun build, and a lot of Necromancer builds rely on your fucking essence. And I don't like to play that way. I like to always have and be able to do stuff. A Bone Spear, you're sitting there and you're most of the time you're worried about, do I have enough essence? And Bone Spear is great and all, but as soon as you run out and as soon as you have nothing left in your tank, you're just kind of sitting there like a fucking sore thumb, right? So, and by no means is my gear perfect. I will have a link to my personal build that I made, with my Paragon, with my skill tree, with everything that you guys will need to know. So yeah, so let's get right into it. Let's start with the skill tree. So first we're gonna go into Reap. Um, so the reason why we have Reap, right? Because we need like an entrance into the killing spree. So Reap, it also increases your damage reduction by 15% for 2 seconds. That's really great. So in this build, you're kind of like in everybody's personal business. You're in there. You're trying to do damage. You're trying to, get where you need to get. So here, giving that 15% is really nice. Then we're gonna go enhanced. You gain 30% attack speed for 3 seconds, but you do have to kill within 2 seconds. So with this, like you reap, and then you're doing other things that we'll get to a little bit later, and then they're dying, right? And then you just reap again, and then you're getting that attack speed. You're able to get more things off, and it's going places, going places. Then we're gonna do Aclinus Reap. The reason why we want this is because Reap forms a corpse under the first enemy hit. Can only occur every 4 seconds. We need some kind of possible way to just make a corpse, right? We're trying to get a corpse out there. We're trying to get the whole ball moving, and Reap is really where we're going to be shining at. So you're going to walk in, you're going to reap, and then it's going to be fucking fantastic, right? Get that corpse. So after we get these three, you don't need anything else over here. We're going to come down to the second spot. Now, this is where it gets a little bit controversial. A lot of people want to go Blight with this kind of build, and yes, Blight is really, really nice, right? But then again, this is my build. This is how I like to play. So, each option's valuable. This build, I've tried of Blight and I've tried of Sever, and they're both really fucking good, right? But I chose Sever. And I'll get to that when we get to the gear. A Spectre of Church that follows you. A Spectre of your yeah, that fuck. A Spectre of you charges forward and attacks with Scythe for 5,000 damage, and returns to you and do an additional 1,500 damage. So on paper, it doesn't sound that bad, or it doesn't sound that good, right? Compared to Blight, and you get the whole, essence leaving behind, and it ticks over 6 seconds, right? But 5,000 damage over 6 seconds, where you get 5,000 damage initially, and then you get an additional 1,700 damage, right? So over here, it deals 2,200 or 2,000 damage and leaves behind an area dealing 5,000 damage over 6 seconds, right? In 6 seconds, your shit will be dead. Everything's already going to be dead within 6 seconds, besides elites and whatnot, right? So we're going to go over Sever, and we're going to get the initial 5,000, because once we Corpse Tendril everything in, and we get a couple corpses down, right, an explosion, it's already ticking away. So then you just spam sever and get rid of everything that's not already dead. Then we're gonna go enhance sever. So sever damages enemies along its path for 40% of the desert damage. So let's say you're not going to hit it, right? Because sever goes all the way out and then it comes all the way back in, right? So if it's not at the very end point, you still have that medium to do some damage. And then we're gonna go paranormal sever. Every fourth cast sever makes enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. That's very great, right? So we're trying to corpse time everything in, get everything in a nice pack, pop some corpses, get that shadow damage fucking ticking, So this one, we're gonna be able to just a 1, 2, 3, 4 severs, and now everything's even more vulnerable. On top of the corpse tendrils, on top of everything else that's making them vulnerable, we're getting them vulnerable, right?